Thanks for staying with us. This morning, we will be speaking on the Naira and fuel crisis bedeviling our economy. That's the only stories Nigerians are interested in today. We'd really like to hear your thoughts, your experiences. How have you been managing? What's your day-to-day routine like in view of this new reality? Just share with us what you're going through, because sometimes we need emefiele to understand what we're going through. We saw in the papers that he assured INEC that you make cash available to us. But have you seen the cash? That's a conversation we'll have. You can call us on 081-270-53687, 091-390-76948. You can also tweet to us at TVC Connect. Please hashtag YourViewTVC so we can read your tweets. So, I plan to go to, I'm going to Abeokuta today, for example, now, and I need to leave cash in the house. And there's literally no cash on my hand. Now, if I left my card, just this morning, my PA tried to go and use the card to do something, and transaction did not go. So, is it that I'm going to be leaving my family in some kind of a discomfort because they won't be able to access, they don't have cash, they can't get PAs? I thought the card would work. So we're having serious online infrastructure problem, and yet there's still no cash in the ATMs. How has been your experience? YK has shared hers with us recently. I don't know if you have any more, but I'd like to hear from others. How are you managing? You might want to start.
No,
you are fine. You know you have connections.
No. All my
still,
market, you know, my market
tough.
connection is still tough. All my market connection that sort of have to deal with cash have been helping me out. So I have a place where I pay for my provisions every month, where I get all my kids' cereals and everything. I called the lady up, and thank God we've had that relationship for years since I've been having children. And so she sent me 100,000 naira in cash, but in old notes, yes. Send me 100,000 naira in cash, and I bailed out all my friends. You know, do the lodges as a madam kind of thing. So I've called her again. Please, so today, if you sell market again today, help me. I paid that 2,500 yesterday.
So you send the money to her account?
No,
transfer to her account,
yes.
and then
So she gives me cash. She sells provisions, and so they are still receiving plenty cash. I'm trying to get my connect with those people who drive down for buses. I've not been able to find. I messed it up.
You know people that drive by.
She's trying to
I'm trying to reenact
up
the relationship. Any of my person that has a boss, I'm going to call them today. That's the next thing. Because my business is suffering. I need cash. So I'm calling all of them. In fact, I have connect with some of these good boys of Lagos. I'm going to call them as well.
Nima,
anybody that does cash, I'm going to go there.
Okay.
Because the people in my 12 market have been bailing me out.
Right.
So I need that for my business.
Please, I have somebody that sent me text yesterday that needs 20,000.
Really?
She said she went to the bank.
Why did not just give you 100,000 naira? Did not just give you 100,000 naira cash?
Who gave me 100,000 naira?
You said that somebody gave you 100,000 naira cash.
When did I say so?
I don't know what she's talking about.
Nema said somebody gave her 100.
You said during the banter that somebody gave 100,000 naira cash. I mean,
Oh, transfer. Morayo, your mind is not here. Please, let me share my.
So can I send that to you, please? She will transfer the money to
So the
you.
truth is, what you're doing right now, everybody is going to start calling me and
asking
trying to
for
reach
Nima's
Nima
number.
to
And I
get
cannot take care of
contact,
them.
and she cannot. So we need to understand that everybody must find their own. But I am blessed to
I'm
have
just
Nima
giving ideas so
in
people who are listening.
Your circle.
in my circle, because for 2 weeks I could not clear my site. I transferred money to my engineer. I lamented on the show, and Nima was like, I forgot. Don't worry, let me call somebody.
Hey,
The next thing, money showed up.
Hey, James
I have
Bond.
sent the money to Ekpe. Work has started.
Nima,
It's good to
Nima
have.
is the resource. If you have any problem in this country, just ask
call
Nima.
him.
Nima are connected. Somebody must know somebody. Knows somebody.
Hey, I'm serious.
You're kidding
So
me.
we called Nima today.
Are you for
Before
real?
we start reggae.
Don't
I got
stop, yo.
I was leaving on Monday. I went with the cash. You know the amount. Yes. She just called somebody.
Nima,
I
Old
know what
notes.
I'm talking about.
Old notes, please.
I don't know.
Listen.
Old note.
Let me qualify it well. Old notes from traders, because
Okay.
she knows a lot of these traders that collect cash. So she was
Right,
able to get people. And one of my staff said that when she was going to church on Sunday, she just assumed she would be able to use ATM to get to church. So she got to the bus stop and didn't have any cash with her again and could not use ATM. So it was at that Magodo junction. She was now begging those Keke Nape
kidding
people
me.
to please collect, transfer and give her cash for her to be able to get to church and come back. Yesterday, my staff too could not come to the office till around 11 o'clock because she was queuing up in
get
Computer
cash.
Village back, because she said she felt that at least this money will get her to Computer Village. When she gets there, she will find her way to office. She will get money. And she didn't want to have to pay to buy money because the option was for her to pay and then they will buy her money. So she went to the bank and waited and waited and waited. So Nigerians are buying money when they are desperate and others are spending time. While doing my hair, there's a Stanbic Bank there. And they brought the bullion van. The van brought money. Immediately the van brought money. Everybody just surrounded the bank because they were all waiting. There was a long queue that they've taken their numbers already. And in my very before, while they are still doing my hair, money finished at the ATM. Between when the van came and within that same day, in less than 3 hours, money finished. So what are we saying? If the CBN truly released enough money, why would a branch of a bank have the entire sum that was brought to them finish within that minute?
Now, the real issue is also them extending this date. Because it's one thing that we're having issues with cash being hoarded. But once people know that the date has been extended such that you can still spend this money, at least for now, until we eventually mop up all the old notes, then nobody will be hoarding any cash. So it's still part of the policy problem. There needs to be a policy review of this.
There has to be.
No, you see, sorry, Nima, I just want to say something. You see, my own problem, it is old notes that we are seeing. Apart from hoarding money, what you are seeing is the old. I run a cash business. The only cash I see is old. I don't see new money. By now, the thing is going to end on Friday. It is only new money you should be seeing. You shouldn't be seeing the old money because they are mopping up the old money. But what you're seeing is you are seeing more of the old money than the new money.
Which is why I wanted to say there has to be a review. What they did mistakenly was say, take old money and limit what they can take.
Yes.
If you have said both currencies, both old and new, can run concurrently to a certain date and make it a bit longer so that we have more of the new money, even though you are not printing as much as you are claiming will take care of us, we will have it in circulation.
Yeah.
Now, what we do, even me, I did it. When they gave me 50,000, the 2,000 new notice, I first of all remove it and put it in my purse.
Yes,
I remove it.
That's a scarce commodity.
So I make sure that the old one is what we are circulating. And thank to them.
everyone is
For
doing
1
that.
week, I didn't have cash at all. I shut my business. But when I saw that, I started making calls. So they opened my thinking cap. Nigerians are resorting to, and we were even resorting to legit ways. So people are resorting to ridiculous things.
You're right, Nima. I have, as I'm talking to you right now, in my purse, I have the maybe 5K of the new note, and I've not touched it. I've had it for like 2 weeks. I didn't touch it. It's
Because
the old ones I have that I'm using. So we're all somewhat hoarding individually.
But we genuinely have
when you're having uncertainties, you now start to be panicking. What they have created is a panic.
Yeah.
Everybody is trying to say, no, let this not catch me, let it not happen to me. Nobody wants to be caught with the old note. So they will bring it to me and they will be begging me to take. So people are trying to sort themselves. With that panic, CBN can actually take care of it and still control the money in circulation.
So can we talk about the failed transactions?
Yes, infrastructure.
Because when the CBN brought up this policy, it was with the expectation that knowing the impact of the policy, everybody will be resorting to online. They want us to go online. They say don't spend cash, spend minimal cash and transfer everywhere it is possible. But as I've been on this show, I have tried transferring 4 times. It keeps showing me failed. Yesterday, it showed me failed. I tried again, and I was debited twice. The money hit the person twice. Imagine. So sometimes you see failed. You don't even know whether the fail is that it went and you should wait a bit. Sometimes you see failed, and actually it has failed. And sometimes people, there are shops in Ogudu where I did my hair, and they said they don't collect transfer because they are having fake alerts, number 1. Number 2, the money goes and comes back. So just give me cash. I don't want. So if you don't have cash, don't even have any. I'm not doing any transaction with you. And this is affecting a lot of people's businesses. A lot of things are being paused because we cannot even move money. And it's just sad that we are doing this to ourselves. It's a man-made, self-inflicted crisis, and everybody is groaning and complaining, and the CBN is still insisting that this is the way forward. We're not changing it.
I was listening to the radio today, and somebody called in, and he said that, well, they shouldn't extend this money thing that we will just all suffer. He too is suffering, and we should just, because so everybody is actually saying it is politics, it's because of the politicians. And everybody thinks this is geared towards the election. My question is it really geared towards the election? And if it is it not a futile attempt at scuttling vote buying? Because the more you make this thing scarce, the more people will be desperate to collect and sell their fundamental...
You know, I was reading I'm reading a report by Agora Policy, and they were saying that one of the key weaknesses that have been identified from the CBN policy is the inability or the unforeseen capacity of the CBN to actually print. According to this report, CBN was only able to locally produce 200 billion of the new notes by end of 2023. That's a long shot from the 2.7 trillion that they actually require, that's mopped up. So we obviously don't have enough new notes. That's what's causing the crunch, according to this report. And it's either we start finding a way to print abroad and get it in, but locally, we've not been able to print more than 200 billion. And that's a major issue we have right now with the cash availability.
And information only open to the CBN. Only the CBN know that it's only 200 million they can print.
200 billion, yes.
200 million to the end of
2023.
They know also that
end of
having
January,
too much...
End of January 2023. This just last month. That was the
Naira.
first 200 billion naira, according to this report. That's what they were able to print.
They also know that having too much naira outside the circulation is a problem as a policy maker. Now you want to sort the two at once and you put a third one on it. You could have sorted it out by changing naira notes. Since you said even the naira notes thing is a non-compulsory. I won't say it's a compulsory because the ATS tenure, some other CBN governors did not execute it and they left and nothing happened. So, but you compelled yourself to execute change of naira notes and added it to all these other policies that you must do at this time, and then told people that this one will phase out and will no longer become legal tender. So I have the paper in my house. I can be using it for business and wait for it to naturally phase itself out. But no, you say no. This one will no longer be legal tender. So all of you rush, if you don't deposit it, anything you see, you take. And you created this panic. Look at what happened in Abeokuta yesterday. People went to the bank. I'm sure the people that even started the riot don't have money in the bank. They took advantage. Before you know, you're creating criminality. Yeah. This morning, they were telling me about somebody that they put in a bus, made sure they emptied everything in a bag, and left her helpless at Ojota this morning.
Yes. So aside from our own experiences with this cash crunch, it's important to also remind Nigerians that the deadline to get or to pay back your old notes is on Friday, February 10th. And we're hoping that the National Assembly can reconvene to get CBN to give an extension on how long we can actually use and spend the old naira notes. We're also hoping,
The matter is now sub judice. Some people have gone to court. Yeah. And the court has said that, as giving an interim order, stopping the CBN from intervening in the deadline. So
Buhari also asked for 7 days. Remember when he had a meeting with them on Friday, with the governors on Friday?
But that
he told them to give him 7 days. 7 days is not yet up. So
it will be up on Friday.
It will be up tomorrow, really, yeah. So they had a meeting on Friday, now say 7 days. So the conversation really is, what are we expecting, hoping? Would CBN really be able to fall back on this?
So yes. I just want to correct something. 7 days is the day you can stop spending. It becomes illegal tender.
Yes.
It stops being legal. You can't use it to buy anything.
You can still take
You can go to the bank till the 17th, I think, to swap.
You can go to CBN,
not swap, to pay it into your account.
Within your state.
No. It's not CBN office only.
What I read was that banks will stop collecting it by the 10th, and you can take your old naira notes to any CBN office for a swap after that.
I
think it's
okay, we'll verify and find the right information. But what I know is that by Friday you can't make it as a legal. You can't use it as a legal tender anymore. So maybe that people carrying cash around by Friday.
Well, what do you think people?
So for me,
I will use it as legal tender and hope that there's an extension. If you don't have it,
before,
the hunger that we have tested will be small compared to what will happen after 10th.
So I'm of the opinion that we shouldn't have an extension, and it's not a popular opinion. What I feel is we should make cash surplus and lift.
They don't have it.
They should lift the restriction on amount you can withdraw. You see, when I don't have a limit to what I can withdraw, for somebody that is in a branch where they can withdraw more, they withdraw more and help other people out.
There's a problem in that formula, in the sense that if the bank have only 2 million in branch, that they will exhaust in an hour if they load it in the ATM.
You can't.
It will still be limit. If they allow you limitless,
So
I will be on the queue. I will never get.
That's the cure for me is CBN to provide
more. But they
more
say that
cash,
they don't
not
have
changing.
First of all, they don't have enough. They don't have enough right
So
now.
they cannot.
They don't have locally.
They are printing it locally now.
It's 200 billion, which they've done.
2023.
Now they've mopped up 2.7 trillion already. It's impossible for them to meet up. That's one. So we have to wait. So that's why you need an extension, because you're not ready. And even if you recall, the Minister of Finance said nobody told her about this policy, because if they did, maybe the banks would have been better prepared. Maybe the financial institutions that supports the infrastructure will be helped. The infrastructure that supports this online banking would have prepared for the influx of Nigerians who will be using. They were not prepared.
They gave notices last year. Now 90 days.
They did not prepare.
There was 90 days.
Minister of Finance told us that she didn't know.
She did not know when they said it 90 days ago.
Prepare. Because the CBN cannot pretend to know that the banks are suffering right now due to this Canada and the Japa issue.
Sure.
Most of the banks has, just as we are complaining that doctors are what's it called?
Japa.
Brain whatever.
Brain drain.
Brain drain. It's happening within the banks as well. Most banks, they can't sort out failed transactions again within 2 days. It takes weeks. I called the bank yesterday, that Orange Bank. Finally, their number went on a landline number. They said it would take 5 days. Something that's supposed to be immediate. This is since Tuesday last week. So they know the infrastructure cannot hold. Now your e-resolutions, all of those departments within the banks are struggling. And CBN will say they don't know.
See, Nima, the only problem I have with that is this infrastructure that you're talking about has been a problematic infrastructure since before the announcement. I'd be having problem, POS, you won't get the kidney. You know about that other bank. That bank with red. Like this.
I understand.
That I used to call all the time.
I used to do like this.
Money did not drop. I've lost so much money to that bank.
They don't have team to finish that team.
Even since 2 years ago, or even more before that time. The other one, the orange one you're talking about, they too, they have Kellen.
But let's talk about
you see, old generation. The worst part is the old generation. When you call them, I don't know what to do. Those are they are laid back.
Right, that's not true. They've changed.
I'm telling you, I'm only talking about one personal experience. Your own may be different from my own.
Okay. But let's talk about
my own personal experience.
Yeah.
I don't know what to do. So, my point is this. It was problematic before you announced you give us 90 days.
Yeah.
Now, 90 days later, we are in deep problem.
Well, December 15 now. When the 90 days? That
No. December 15 was the day they brought out the money.
Yes, now.
Before December 15, people had started taking their money
to the banks.
The money that they had.
Let me take this call from Antonia. Good morning, Antonia. Are you there?
Good morning, Morayo.
You're live. Go ahead, please.
The man is calling me. I enjoy your program. Doctor, I follow you up in all your program. I love you. I love your person. Okay, I'll be.
It's muffled though, Antonia. Go ahead. Let's try to hear you.
All right. I love you, Pepper. I love you. My bestie, my sport lady. I love you. Imagine me putting to death. Can you hear me?
Yes, but it's a bit muffled, but go ahead.
Okay, imagine me putting to death. There's money to leave the hospital because of emefiele. It's not as if I don't have money in my account. How does this sound? Going to all the markets to look for where to buy money. We bought 400,000 for how much? Because we want to leave the hospital. The thing is really affecting everybody. Okay, getting home now. How will the world feed? They have to rectify this thing as fast as possible. Okay, so get baby diaper. The transfer is not going. And since morning, my mommy has been walking up and down looking for who will collect transfer to get diaper. I don't know where we are going to. I don't know.
Thank you so much, Antonia, for sharing your
experience.
experience.
Going through different types of hardship.
I see, but how do we therefore? Because we're saying don't postpone the deadline, but these are the realities people are facing. For example, people are protesting, burning up banks. Those in the banks are also Nigerians. They're not foreigners, though.
They're also
feeling the pain. Yes, they're in the bank. You think you have access to cash, but they also have limits. Everybody needs cash. So we're all in this together. So those of us who are attacking the banks, to what end? Because we're still saying that, and CBN is still insisting that banks are hoarding. So how do we balance those who are hoarding and those who are trying to get?
Your story is even more pathetic. You give birth, you want to pay 200,000. Why can't the hospital confirm a transaction?
Because they are failed transaction and they will release the baby
and you made,
and the baby will
releasing
not...
baby, they must go and buy, they had to buy 200,000 to come and pay cash to hospital. No, now. Some of these things we can avoid. We can avoid this one because I know that hospital just needs the cash. Some schools are now saying, no, pay our school fees only in cash. So that they can pay their teachers, so that their teachers can have transport fare to come to work the next day. The big schools in this Nigeria, in this Lagos, did that.
You know,
they had to do that for teachers to be able to come to school.
We have show on Thursdays and Sundays. You know, normally I have to give them cash for transport. A lot of them could take transportation transfer before. Now, nobody wants transfer. Please give me my cash.
Wow.
And I don't have cash.
Exactly.
So let's talk about beggars.
That's the reality. You know, we're still discussing the hardship this cash crunch is telling on Nigerians. And we're pretty concerned about the violence that have erupted across the country, especially at banks. Some banks had to close their branches for the safety of their staff. Others were seen jumping over the fence for safety because there was a crowd outside trying to get in. Where do we go from here? And here we have the CBN governor, who is saying that, assuring us that you get more money out there. Our president, I said, give me 7 days. Lawmakers are saying, we don't have 7 days. They might have to reconvene either today or tomorrow because we don't have time. We need something to be done drastically. How do we move forward? Nobody has really said anything. We're waiting for the president 7 days to be up. So by Friday, CBN wants to see what it's going to do. But we are getting information that they don't have enough cash. They don't have enough new cash. In communities where we don't have people, where people don't have access to banks, according to a report that I read earlier, in certain states like Bauchi, Katsina, less than 8% of women have accounts. And these are farmers. These are people who actually go to the farm. How do they transfer? Farmers are being totally affected by this.
Yobe State Governor, I remember reading a story saying that he doesn't even understand this policy because most of his states are not banked, and the villages are very, very far apart.
Yeah.
That you travel hours before you will see one bank in the entire state, and many people live like that. So even the cash they have, they will have to travel hours to go and drop it in the bank. And when they drop that, let's say they drop that 50,000 naira, they cannot withdraw another 50,000 naira because the daily limit is how much? 20,000 naira. So they will go back home, be out over almost 2 hours of travel back to their house with 20,000 naira, with the expectation that what will be the solution. Like, we're not thinking of the people. They just think of metropolis Nigeria, not thinking of the real Nigerians.
Let me take this call and hold it for a minute. Good morning, are you there? Muniruddin, you're live. I'm so sorry for keeping you.
No problem, ma'am.
Go ahead.
I'm a first-time caller.
Welcome to the show.
Welcome to the show.
Mrs. Morayo, bro, you're well done. I do appreciate and enjoy your program.
Thank you.
The issue of this Naira and the fuel in this country, honestly speaking, is giving most of us headache. Like me now, I'm doing petty business because I'm done with my first degree. Second degree, I'm still on for job. I have to put something on the table each and every day. So those people that buy clothes from me, they need to have cash. Since this policy, they introduced this policy, I've not sold single clothes. I was talking to my dad yesterday. He happens to be a philanthropist. So people do go to him to go and have money each and every morning. They have to go and use money to buy money. Because those people that come to collect money, they don't even have accounts for him to even transfer money to. So let's even forget about those conditions. I mean, the saying of they introduced this program because of conditions. No, forget about it. Those people know who to call in the bank if they need cash.
Thank you, Muniru.
There's a report, that they said that 250 million was found
In a bank.
In a bank. But from what I'm hearing, banks actually keep money for other banks. So if you meet 250 million in a bank, it might belong to...
Yeah, you should distribute it to the other banks. You shouldn't keep it in your bank either.
No,
Distribute it to
no,
the other
what
banks.
I can say is that as a vault, you can actually house monies for
other banks.
Yeah. So if you have a very more secure bank, banks as...
Yeah, but right now we need new notes. So those new notes should not be in anybody's vault at
But
all.
it's not their own to spend. It's not their own to distribute. They are holding it in trust for other branches.
So my question, therefore, is
other banks.
Who are, in the last few days, we've been repeating the same thing. Who gave the order for them to hoard this money in the banks? Nobody has been able to answer it. Have they spoken to the bank managers? Have they spoken to the owners of the bank? In what's instruction?
So imagine if, like, there's the branch I went to yesterday now, the last time they gave them money was on Friday. So Saturday, Sunday, ATMs were dry. If they receive money on Tuesday, they might decide that we will only distribute 50% because so that we would have enough cash for tomorrow so that we can also distribute a bit as well. I was going to say before the break that what are happening to the beggars? There are some beggars that I usually pass by and I would always give cash, but I don't have cash. So I'm thinking about it that people give change to these people and now they don't have cash to give them.
No, there's 100 Naira exactly available, 50 Naira.
How is it 100
Naira?
No, as in, that's cash. That one doesn't have any problems now. You can still take cash.
Can you see the 100 Naira? Look, my friend, she went to,
Let me take this
she went to the bank yesterday. They gave her 3,000. So she's texting me that, please, give me 20. I said, I don't have. I don't have. If I have 20,000, do you know my workforce? That I will now give you. I don't have it to give you. Look, is there someone on the phone?
Yes, let me take Yakub. He's been holding. Good morning, Yakub. Are you there? Sorry for keeping you.
Yeah, I'm there, Morayo.
Yes, sir.
And good morning to everyone because of time. Morayo, I think in the nearest future, we are still going to continue this life. Why? Or hence, our laws change. Why am I saying that? As it is today, the law permits the central bank governor and Mr. President, if they want to return our Naira, to do whatever they like. I don't think a station whereby they need to pass through the National Assembly. I think this thing will have not happened. A station whereby just two people can decide how Nigerian people, how Nigerian capacity will find their money. But I think someone in the studio mentioned earlier that only 200 million or 200 billion missing. Out of this money that was missing, a lot of millions of this money went to bandits in the bush. How come? How money? Another one is this. It is a political. Why is it not political? Why is political is this? Some politicians from the opposition went to the court and mandated court to extend this thing. And then another party, in person of APC, goes to Supreme Court. And I say that this thing must be extended because Nigerian citizens are far too clear. And then other parties go to the court that they should not be extended. You cannot see that why it's a political. And then eventually as a garrison commander behave like a former Egyptian of Uganda. You don't say that if you want $1, I buy silver for who are you to say that to tell me that when you need silver, I give you $? You can imagine how this man is behaving. See, if care is not taken, if Nigerian masses start protesting, they want to stop this election, and that's believing in you. It's not going to happen.
Thank you very much. Because many people are fearing. Yes.
Yakub just said, because I've been hearing it, and I've just been thinking about it. Emefiele, as a sitting CBN governor, did not resign when he had presidential aspirations. He printed cars, and suddenly now he wants to catch election thief. And he is even agreeing with YK. This thing is for election, but the futility of it is what is annoying. One man who cannot say he has been unbiased in his position is deciding how to put us in this hardship to catch election, to curb election excesses. This one man, his hands are not clean.
But he's already there.
I just want us to remember that in May last year, just before the primaries, was it May or April, there was dollar scarcity. Everybody was looking for dollar. All of them, because all the politicians. So if you had dollar in the bank, you won't get your dollar because all the politicians had mopped up the dollars. Inside the same emefiele matter.
Yeah.
And then he's
now
suddenly he's
now we have left dollar now. It is now Naira. That we are now buying Naira as if we are buying dollar.
Yes.
Exactly. You know, it's quite sad, and I really hope that we can actually see another learning from this, where how important our lawmakers are. They are the ones that can empower any officer, any appointed officer on what to do. So CBN has all these powers. Why? Because the lawmakers have made him that powerful. They are the third arm of government. So they can amend these laws that are empowering these people to make this kind of drastic, single-handed decisions. So don't just focus on who is the president, who is the president. You are not paying attention to who is your local government, who is your House of Assembly, who is your senator, who is your lawmaker. These are the people that make the nation, not just one man president. You can make or break the president. So if this person has this kind of power to break a nation, it means that the person who's giving that power, we should check them.
Yeah. The lawmakers are summoning emefiele too now.
One person with the support of the president has brought the entire country to its knees, like everybody grounded.
The NNPC was insisting they had petrol. And we have been suffering this hardship. We've been buying and we have been paying subsidy. Yeah. On top of what we are paying subsidy, we have been buying at 350 naira per litre. 350. That filling station at Sele bus stop is selling 330
they are selling Akure is selling for 500, 550.
In this Lagos, in this Nigeria, and nobody is summoning him. Then he comes out, he does an apology and says that, well, I'm not assuring you that all the queues will just disappear.
Excuse
I don't understand.
Excuse me, Nigeria has a network problem. Fuel, get network problem. Money, get network problem. PVC, get network problem. So, let's change Nigeria to network. We need network in Nigeria.
Did you practice that one before the show?
Because I'm just looking. Everything is network. This one, network.
It's network, really, because the reason why we can't do transfers is
we don't have
stop our network for that side.
So, and no, but transportation network to Abi for petrol.
We have to wrap up on this because I think we've really.
I'm tired.
I really wanted to get a little more calls. Can we take some on social media?
We have many. Let's
take a visual.
Let's look for them.
Watch Mama says old 500 naira and 200 naira notes should be allowed to run alongside the new ones for 6 months after the elections with a gradual withdrawal to even out the bottleneck. 1,000 naira notes should be immediately and completely phased out. I agree. Morayo Steven says when CBN knew they won't print what will be enough for the whole country, why did they change the 3 major currencies we are using? Delfino says, by stopping the ATMs, they will indirectly make POS vendors their mop-up agents. And within a few days, the old notes will be at the banks. I wish I got a CBN job instead.
So, is it Twitter you're taking?
Twitter.
Okay, let me take
Tubes.
Boost your social site says, even Nigerian people get network problem. Ken says, exactly my... Sorry, I have to take one before that.
Let me take Delfino's first one and conclude again. It says CBN is supposed to stop all the ATMs from working while allowing cash swaps in their branches. If you don't have old cash, you won't get new notes because now even people that are not into POS business are all going into it to make the demand, making the demand for cash higher. They should stop ATMs and by stopping ATMs, they will indirectly make POS vendors their mop-up agents. And within a few days, the old notes will be at the banks. I wish I got a CBN job instead.
September Production says, why didn't they make this change 4 years ago? Why now, a few months to the election, they need to question the CBN governor?